the idea behind Cookbook is that although the internet is full of food, full of recipes, full of images of delicious things to eat, there's also a frustration that the real best material around food is in these cookbooks which stood the test of time, which have been written by real authorities, and which really convey the context and the background and in-depth understanding of food. And I have a huge collection of cookbooks. Many people love their cookbooks and they've been really influential, and people read them, and the next generation of writers and chefs go on and build on them. But all of that fantastic information in those cookbooks so far really hasn't been digital, and you haven't been able to get to it online. And so Cookbook is about addressing that gap, about bringing that fantastic, rich resource and connecting it up so that you can explore, delve into it, discover new things, discover new recipes and ideas, cuisines from around the world, and really build up an understanding and build up skills rather than just finding a disconnected recipe on the web.
So this is my highly precious wasabi, which has been growing for years. This is about as much as I get every few months. There's a special treat, bit of fresh wasabi, which is kind of sought after. In fact, we have certain chefs in London, like Scott Holsworth, who are quite keen to get hold of any that have going. You just rub it on this sharp skin grater and get a nice fresh wasabi paste.
My background originally is in academic publishing and science publishing. It's all been transformed by the net, and that's something which up to date really hasn't happened in the same way with cookbooks. Cookbooks continue to be published in print, they're beautiful things, they work really well, but the thing is, behind that, they could be so much more if they were really accessible and discoverable on the internet as well. And so Cookbook is about combining those two worlds and making them the best of both.
Guam volcano tuna.
So our starting point for building Cookbook was to figure out what the most important and influential cookbooks of all time were. And so to do that, we approached hundreds of leading chefs and cookbook authors and asked them for their top 10 cookbooks. Many of the books we've brought together on Cookbook have never been in digital form before. We haven't just focused on recipes, we've also been looking for the most authoritative reference content. This is Harold McGee's On Food and Cooking, and it's an absolute classic. It's full of great reference on all sorts of different techniques and ingredients. Quite difficult to read cover to cover, but the great thing with Cookbook is we can connect each section up to the recipes where it's relevant.
So summer pudding is a classic English pudding, one of the many classics in Regular's Pride and Pudding.